Hello everyone, welcome to a new little video, and this time I just wanted to give you a walkthrough through my demo I was recently writing for Best Service and SONUSCORE's new sample library, Strings of Winter. And it's a standalone product, but it also implements and it's also available as an upgrade for Best Service and SONUSCORE's The Orchestra, which has been released, I don't know, I think like a few years ago, and you can check out more information in the info section below. So before we hop into the patches and everything, let me just play you the demo itself. Okay, that's it. So let's just go through the individual patches I was using to write this demo. And let's start off with the very first patch. I basically based this demo on, and this is the low flam marcados from the Morin Khuur section, which is basically the core of the new library of Strings of Winter. So it's all Morin Khuur, or it's all about Morin Khuur ensembles, but also a lot of other things, but one by one. So let me just introduce you to these. So they sound really harsh, you know, really cold. Kind of Viking-like, brutal. So I was inspired by these patches to write the demo. And so this is this patch. The next one would be the low staccatos. Well, as I said before, they sound really rough and barbaric, so when string staccatos or rough spiccatos aren't enough, these definitely come in very handy. And okay, let's hop through the list here a little bit. The next thing would be the high staccato notes. So they also have, they already have some kind of sordino touch, but they still sound very cold and rough. So I was writing this little, let me just play this part for you. So really kind of, you know, so I used it to introduce kind of some stress and pulse to prepare for these flams, for this main melody. Okay, and the next would be use some external low booms from the Spitfire Hans Zimmer library, the HC1. The low booms, which are actually just to have some heavy percussion going on. Okay, so the next would be, which I really liked, really liked this patch. The simple sustain patches, but as I said before, as you heard with the staccato samples, the high staccato samples, they sound really sordino-like. So this patch And I also should turn off the reverb I applied to the whole string sections. So this is a very beautiful silky sound, but still cold and sort of aggressive. Not really that nice, so I think it fits very well when you write. SONUSCORE didn't call the library strings of winter without a reason. So as I said before, so all these patches sound very cold and rough and, you know, not really like noble like strings do. So it's more like, you know, really suitable for the Viking or everything wild, barbaric, savage, some kind of these things. And okay, so the next one I used to introduce some little woodwinds is the staccatos, the clarinet staccatos. So I started off this arpeggio. And I also used the woodwinds just an octave above to complement the clarinet here. So it's basically the same thing. And all together with that, so it still says staccato high, but this is actually the sus patch, the sustain patch. So okay, so to set the vibe, and then in the next, you know, in the following, in the later on in the demo, this patch is overtaking, or the highest staccato strings are kind of overtaking this arpeggio from the beginning. And so on. So the next patch I was using was from this is French horn sustains, and I didn't use that much brass because I just really wanted to focus on the strings itself. So I just used it to introduce this little swell here. Okay, and some other swells. And sorry, the mod wheel was kind of sending some data. And yeah, that's basically all the patches, so the basic patches I was using. So there is also a little bit, I'm sorry that I still have some names going on which are not right. So I used some of the, one of the complete patches, the orchestra complete patches, called, I think, No Trespassing. And I used it to introduce a little bit of action going on towards the end. So these are really great. There's a lot of these patches in there. So just in case, you know, you have this typical situation that you have a lot going on, you put a lot of effort in your track and you still have something missing. Or you need some inspiration, or you just have, you know, a hardcore deadline. I mean, we are used to it. We pros are used to it. You know, when you just have, you know, you delivered like 5 tracks or whatever, and then there's feedback, and you still have to have some, you know, some parts, some action parts going on, or some more stuff going on, and you just don't have time. These things come really in handy. They are all dynamic, so I'm just using the mod wheel right now. So you can build a lot of cool risers and stuff like this. So there's actually way more in the library, but just let's go through the patches I'm using here. Then we also got some strings effects going. So I introduced these to create some, you know, like rough atmosphere towards the end. Okay, so the next one would be some piatis from Hans Zimmer percussion again, just to use to have some cymbals, because I like the bright setting of these, the bright sound better, to say it better, the bright sound of these. But again, let's stick with this library here with Strings of Winter. And I also introduced some crescendi towards the end. So I used this one here. Also pretty cool, you can never have enough string risers, effects going on, because it's pretty hard to build these with multi-samples, so it's always good to have these. Playing a few more patches right now. So that's it for these. No, we got one more. I just wrote contact, very clever. So, oh yes, it's the timpani. So I just wanted to have some. You know, some typically. So there's a lot of, you know, not really a lot of other instruments going on. You just got like two tracks for woodwinds and just some brass risers or swells going on, and just a little bit very sparse percussion. So I just wanted to really focus on the Morin Khuur ensembles. Let me just play them. Let me just sort them a little bit more, and let me just play you all the Morin Khuur patches at once. Okay, so as I said before, they sound really barbaric, really aggressive. That's how I like it. And I also played these without reverb. So let me just play you that little section here with reverb again. It's really subtle. You know, there's actually a lot of reverb in there, but very long tail. But I use the the lexicon, the random hall for this, the large hall, and I just wanted to have something, you know, I think I called my demo something like March of the Pale Walkers. So, see the similarities. So, but I just wanted to introduce something, you know, which is creeping along all the notes. So there isn't really reverb, but just this tail, something which is creeping afterwards all the played notes. Okay, so that's it for my demo. And as I said before, if you want to have more information on Strings of Winter, check the link below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.